We pumped 22,746,000 gallons of water and treated 40,340,000 gallons at the treatment plant this past month. 11 tons of dry sludge were hauled to the Broadhurst landfill. 36 loads of limbs and leaves were hauled to the inert landfill. We fixed 7 water leaks and stopped 5 sewer lines. Changed out 31 meters, done 5 rechecks, 29 locates, and hung the Christmas lights around town. Details, cut the grass, finishing cutting the grass on the right of ways at the cemetery, and took off 3 drying mills.
Okay, thank you. Police Department, Deputy Chief Scott Manning.
For the month of November, we've had 141 criminal reports made, 22 cases assigned to criminal investigations, 73 traffic and city ordinances tickets were written, 67 warnings issued, 15 accident reports, 20 arrests, fine money collected, $5,282.50, and probation $2,621.41. Stolen property, $24,016.96. Property recovered, $13,527. In-house training, 4 hours. Out-of-town training, 50 hours.
Okay, you want to mention about the K-9 unit being researched?
Last month, Corporal Nicole Smith and Raider went to their recertification, yearly recertification, and both of them got recertified.
Very good.
Hey, car entries, we slowed down?
Yes, sir, for right now we have.
Inspection, electrical inspection, we had 1, plumbing inspection, we had 2, mobile home inspections, 1, and property maintenance cases on 201 Johnson Street and 106 Lucky Street. They've been taken care of, cleaned up.
Thank you for that, Gary. Appreciate that. Okay, before we go any further, we've got some guests tonight.
You remind me tomorrow to get with you about a spot on East 18th and a spot on East 17th. If you'll write those down, I'll get with you tomorrow. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, we have some guests with us. We have guests from, okay, I'm gonna let you introduce the guests that we have tonight, but you'll be on the program later, so we'll do that at a later time. And the 4-H is with us, and same for them. They'll be introduced in just a few minutes by Mr. Overstreet. And we have some that just came in. So everyone's welcome. We appreciate everyone coming. And remember that we meet the first Monday of every month. And all of y'all, each and every one of you is welcome. And please pass it on to our citizens, because if they don't come, they don't know what's going on. So I want to pass that on to y'all. And we'll move along with the agenda. We have shoes for the soldiers with the 4-H group, and I'm going to turn that over to Mr. Overstreet.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Jake, and, who is the 4-H advisor, she asked me to be on the 4-H advisory committee. It's a group of folks that meet 3 times a year, correct? And she asked me to be a part of that, and I said, sure, I'll help. Thankfully, the last meeting we had, I was able to attend, and there were several things that they discussed. One of the items they discussed was collecting money, how they go about collecting money. And if I say something inaccurate, you correct me, Jacob, please. How they go about collecting money to do shoe boxes for soldiers. And what they do is collect old shoes that somebody wants to give, donate, however you want to put it, to the 4-Hers, and in turn they take these shoes and get money for the weight of the shoes. They use that money to buy postage to be able to send shoe boxes to soldiers overseas. So first of all, they're doing a great thing by sending packages overseas to our soldiers. I think it's wonderful and they do that. It should be commended. And I felt like that our mayor and council and staff, by putting a couple of boxes at a couple of our buildings here in the city, could help out, because we all have a lot of us have a pair of shoes that we don't wear anymore or something of that nature. And so we sent out those couple of boxes, and we have collected some shoes and wanted to invite them to come and just, you know, be a part of that and tell them we appreciate them for letting us participate, but also that we appreciate them for what they're doing, and really, you know, acknowledging that they are doing something that's very worthwhile, and just want to say thank you to them for allowing
Let's
us
give
to.
them a hand.
And if Jakey would come up, I'd really like for us to be able to get a picture with you and some of the students and mayor and council, so that, you know, so that we can remember.
Thanksgiving, we sent over 500 to the Boys and
That's
Girls.
I'll get myself or one of our guys to bring those over in the morning,
Okay.
so that y'all can have those. And we're actually, I think, gonna keep our boxes and
That's great.
continue to do that, because I thought you had told me that it was
And
something
we,
y'all
yeah, we do it all during the year
Okay,
to
good.
help pay for it.
Good, wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank y'all very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I know Nick Adams
The-
is
really-
there, but I won't wear it. There's no shoes left.
Really, the only rule, Jake, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the only rule is they can't be open-toed like
But
flip-flops.
they don't want like rubber flip-flops
Uh-huh.
and Crocs, like
Okay.
flimsier shoes. They
Yep.
want to be straight, because they sell these in third world countries. They redistribute it, and we're paid 50 cents a pound. So the heavier, the better. But yeah, boots, even old cleats, things like that, they'll take from us. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all are welcome to stay for the meeting, however, I understand that y'all have something else to do.
Thank you.
Y'all come back and visit with us again.
Thank
Enjoy
y'all.
having you.
Thank you.
Okay. The part on 2A that we added was on our committee that's on the board for the dogs. Gail, would you name those again, please?
Pam Solomon, Pam Carter, Judy Carter, the Carter sisters,
Melissa Bagley.
Melissa Bagley, Connie Johnson, and I.
Okay.
And,
That's the committee, and they've done an excellent job. They've saved about some 70 dogs out there. And as you all know, it's, you read in the Mature magazine that there was a statement made about how bad the dog pound was out there. However, we have just this date been notified that we have a donor who is going to help us with building new pens at the site where you turn in to go to the training center. So we're excited and appreciate that donation so much, and now that we can move on with keeping our dogs, having a new pound and being proud of the pound and having people go out there so they can see the dog. However, we don't have any out there, so they've done an excellent job with doing that, and we appreciate that so much. Okay, moving on down to the appointment of the police chief. turn that over to you, Nick.
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you. As you probably saw in the newspaper, on November the 30th, the mayor and council, along with myself, interviewed the 2 finalists for the position of police chief to replace Mr. Sellers, who left us back in early September. The mayor and council, what I'm asking for here is basically a motion and a second voting to appoint who you feel is the best candidate to fill that position, so that we can get that individual, assuming acceptance and negotiations are, final and are in good, handled, and everything turns out fine with negotiations, and get that individual in here and get him started so that we can move forward with a new police chief, a permanent police chief. And so that's what I'm asking for, is a nomination and a second, and then a formal vote for that position.
Okay, we're open for a motion.
I make a motion that we employ Michael Leslie.
I'll second.
Okay, we had a first from Mr. Hughes, a second on John Leslie. No,
Michael
this is
Leslie.
Michael, I'm sorry. That's right, Michael Leslie as police chief. Okay, do I have a first and I have a second? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? That vote is unanimous for police chief of Michael Leslie.
Thank you. And if it's okay, Mayor and Council, I will speak with him regarding the position and get with each of you and let you know an expected starting date and that kind of thing, so that y'all be fully aware of what to expect from him, and also all the details, get all those worked out so that we can move forward.
No, Chief, don't he know you pretty good?
On professional level, yes, sir.
So y'all can get, I mean, they much you probably go over, he knows roads and all good, don't he?
Yes, sir.
And with that, and with that being said, I personally, as the city manager, want to thank Scott
Absolutely.
for what he done in the interim. And I'm glad that Scott has agreed to stay on with us as our investigator. And I appreciate what he has done, because, not ever doing that before, and getting in there and doing that is not an easy thing. And I, from the city manager's perspective, want to say thank you for doing that. And I honestly have enjoyed, because I've worked obviously a lot closer with you than I normally do, and I have enjoyed doing that. And I think that has, and this is coming from Nick, has strengthened our working relationship, and I think I've learned a lot about Scott, he's learned a lot about me, and I think that'll only make the connection from administration to the police department stronger. And I just want to tell him thank you for that.
Absolutely. He stepped up to the plate, and it was a hard job, because there was several things that hit at one time. It kind of all, we had a calamity there at one time, and he worked through that, did an excellent job, and I think we ought to give him an applause. Thank you so much.
As for the community, he's an awesome chief police, and an officer. He always been good to our community. So he stepped in just where he fit in at. He always been good to us.
Thank you, Leslie. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he don't need to work, but he always been good to us.
Figured out it was working for a politician.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity, I appreciate it.
He did have a great help with him.
Okay, Brian and Robert, y'all are on. If you would like to come up, you gonna do a presentation, or you just gonna ask questions, or what?
Well, I think that, Tom was, we're at a point of decision-making in terms of, and I wanted to make ourselves available to answer anything, any further questions that people have, because we have done quite a bit of financial modeling and looked at it. had a few people come and look at what was available, Brian.
Chatsworth.
At Chatsworth. And it's, at this point, it's a good example of just how effective these solar arrays can be. And I think this is something that the city has been given an excellent opportunity by GFA and by, the way the money is available. The price of it, including the grants, is really almost a gift. They really want people to put it in there, and just so you understand that solar is already going in wastewater treatment plants all over the nation. In fact, in Nashville, North Carolina, they're actually building a solar-driven wastewater treatment plant. It's not 100%, it's not 100%, but it's being built from the ground up to maximize the use of solar. So this is something that needs to be looked at, not as just a flash in the pan, or not as just something that is going to come and go. This is a permanent turn in the way we do business. As long as you're needing electricity, as long as the sun's going to shine, you're going to have solar energy available to begin to change the ways you actually process waste and pump water. So I think we put together a pretty good program. I think GFA has an outstanding program available, and we're comfortable with our models, and we feel like it's a great deal for you. We'd like to answer any further questions now that you've had a chance to go kick the tires on one in the state.
I have a question. There's a lot of what I actually see as solar panels being put in now.
Right.
I see them going down the highways now, they're outside the highways everywhere. What of those, are y'all installing any of these that are going in around us? Or, I mean, like, where does your most recent job?
Our most recent job is West Virginia.
Is in West Virginia?
Yeah, our role is less, I'm a utility contractor by trade, a general contractor. I put in all kinds of utility systems. I don't do that anymore. I'm a developer. I'm the guy that when you think you want to go with solar, there's a lot of questions, a lot of information you need to know. And that's what Green Innovations Power is built around. You see our logo is physics to finance. And our role is to come in when somebody thinks they want this, assess your entire business case, and project it accurately in a financial model that shows you what this is going to look like for the next 40 or 50 years. And then to help you go through the financing process and do it in a fashion that's in your best interest. Placing the most inexpensive and best deal for the financing that's available for this, and to bring the right equipment to play that we know is going to be here 30 or 40 years.
So that was going to be my next question. The equipment part of it, is that your recommendation, or is that, I'm sure there's more than one solar panel manufacturer.
You bet. And
So, you know, how does that affect you?
that's our role, is that, I think, Ken, how many solar panel manufacturers have been in and out of around the world? At least 30. Ken's a bona fide rocket scientist, so you know, and I'm a bona fide contractor, general contractor, and utility contractor. I also understand how to model physics to finance, and how it works on the issues of warranties and how all this comes to bear.
Which would be my concern.
Ours too. And our role is to make certain that that doesn't happen here, that you don't put up a nice big solar array. And a lot of these solar arrays you're seeing put up by companies that are big Chinese companies and stuff, I mean, they're hardly getting turned on and there's no warranty. We always make a joke about, you know what a Chinese warranty is, and nobody knows, and we don't think they do either. So it's to make certain that these panels will last for a long, long time. The warranty for 25 years is very important. If they're built right, they're really okay. But that's what we can do. We have some unique skills in our ability to evaluate the equipment, evaluate the racking, and make recommendations. We don't want to say you have to use this or you have to use that, but there's numerous good panel manufacturers that we can make certain are placed here. So our role is to walk you through this financial process. In fact, that's why GFA asked us to begin to take over, or not, I shouldn't use this taking over, but start this process of teaching and pushing this amongst the communities, because they like our models. Their underwriting process and the way our financial models just happen to answer each other's questions very nicely. And so we're going to make certain that what you get is a permanent installation, because again, this is not something that's going to come and go, and when this system goes, out long after we're gone, that everybody tears it down and doesn't ever put another one up again. This is permanent. This is a permanent change, and this is sort of like what the buggy whip factories felt like in 1910. You know, that wasn't, we're not going to go back and get horse and carriages anymore. With the move to horseless carriages was permanent. The move to solar is a permanent change in our society. We're going to make certain that that's a very smooth transition for you, and that you get your money's worth out of this equipment.
Now, you said JIFA came to y'all. Are y'all the only company that's out?
No, there are other people, in fact, numerous other people have asked us about what we're doing, and we said, we don't want to install. Again, I've probably got $75–80 million just in labor and equipment and doing utility installations. I'm 65, I don't want to do that anymore. My job is to do the other end of it, is to make certain that the money's there, the engineering's there, and the inspection's there, so that these other guys who are just as capable of doing this, they want to do the installations. What they want us to do is get every wastewater treatment plant in this state heading towards solar, so they can come bid it. That's what they're after. So we just elected in this process, because we know that JIFA likes our work, is to take the position of developer. That started, in fact, the first job project I took on was Simon Solar. That was the largest solar array built east of the Mississippi, when Bubba McDonald came to me and said, we're having this little dispute with Georgia Power about whether solar works or not, whether it can be built for no upward pressure on rates. And I told Bubba, I said, listen, Bubba, I said, not only can it be built with no upward pressure on rate, it will bring downward pressure on rates. And he says, well, son, you're going to have to prove that to me. Well, we did. And what you're seeing happen now, if you go up to Public Service Commission and lift the hood on all these conversations and documentation, you're going to find our numbers at the bottom of it. It was our numbers that convinced the Public Service Commission that Georgia Power was not totally accurate. Even though they had all these PhDs and MBAs, they still weren't getting the numbers right. We had to show them how to do it. I think they knew how to do it all along, but I just don't think they wanted to, but that's just my opinion. But so that's our role here for you, and that's why JIFA pointed us to this money that was coming down. And as soon as I saw the money, I had been doing a lot of development and this type of modeling for private business industries. One of the last ones I did was for the family that owned Amico Wall. I helped them change their whole real estate portfolio towards solar. They realized it creates a significant competitive advantage. But I can tell you that private industry had a tremendous leg up on the municipalities in the value, in how cheaply they could acquire solar. That was the case until JIFA chose Georgia as a pilot state for this program. And I can tell you that if you take the opportunities that you're being handed right here and the opportunities that are made through tax credits to private industry, I think you've got it. I think you got a better deal here that's available to you right now. So that's, again, our job is that we are familiar with this industry. I've been watching solar since 1972. Is that we know what can go wrong, and we're looking out for you. So,
Are you the kind of the accredited company for JIFA, or are they other people they do the same thing?
They can't accredit anybody.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Are you the special person that they picked, or are they more than one?
How would you describe it, Brian? I think you were right.
They've chosen us as one of their professional consultants, but the only other one that's done any of this work was Georgia Power on the Chatsworth field. So we're working with Baxley now, Woodbine, and probably 5 other cities on similar projects, including the city of Alma. That we have 20 other cities that are considering it right now. So as these projects move forward, more cities have gotten interested and are putting their pre-applications in to get involved in the process.
So at this time, the state of Georgia, do y'all have any in the state of Georgia at this time?
In terms of
Solar panels?
that we've
Or
installed.
wastewater?
Oh, not for wastewater, it'd actually be the first one.
Okay.
Now, I actually was the first one into Chatsworth and started doing the modeling for Chatsworth originally, and then ultimately Georgia Power stepped up and they decided they wanted to be the developer. And so, they got a chance to do it. And they did a good job. I'm not going to quibble with them. It was a nice piece of work. But since that point, they've not really done it anymore. And at this point, we're the only ones in the state. And we talk with Chief on a regular basis. They know us personally, and we keep them informed. And we've spent a lot of time and energy developing this market.